Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you the parts of my writing that that were influenced or inspired by the right steps or like what it made me change. So my story's called The Parents. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to do the parts that right steps, right about help me change. So here, when I said this, I said all of this here. Like they hated kids, unfortunately for them. They had twins. It was at first I had. It said that our parents, Kelly and Mike Anderson, hated kids, and that they had twins, and that was not happening. But it made me think that I could do it this way. Unfortunately for them, they had twins, because it sounds better that way. All right. The next part that that helped me with was I skipped past where it said the only reason sure we didn't know how to read, but we figured it out. Just like all the other things in our life we didn't know how to do, we figured them out all on our own. So this part, I didn't really have this part. It was kind of like not very good. Like this whole part from here. And I just like added it when I was reading through my story because we had
Really good.
lesson
Longest
about it.
leash ever today. I'm barely looking at you. I am though. I'm peering every now and then.
All right.
I'm not trying to catch anybody though. I just want to be proud of you. I'm sitting here feeling very proud. So leave that feeling go.
And then the next part is that the next part that helped us was when it said so far we have narrowed the search down to New York City. Somewhere in that Big Apple, there kept their little parents living their dream lives while we were stuck in an old running cave. And then when I was doing right steps, I added this. So then it was like I added this to I'm doing a video. So then okay. Anyway, we could see New York City from out of our cave, and then it's kind of like I added that after I made the next chapter called The Glimpse, because then I added this part to it. We were then it says we could see New York City from here out of our cave. We sat here day after day, looking out at the city, hoping to see even one little glimpse of them. I added that after right steps because it's like kind of good, because then the next chapter is like coincidence is called like The Glimpse, where they're hoping to see one little glimpse of them. And the next one's called The Glimpse. The next chapter is called that. Anyway, the next part that I added because of right steps. So here, it says, how can she possibly be daydreaming when we're so close to finding out? I thought to myself. I added that before. It wasn't very good because it was like I just had this part. And then I added, how can she possibly be daydreaming? That's what I added. This part, I didn't add because of right steps. It's just kind of weird because if you keep reading, it's like it's kind of like weird. Like, why would they? It says by high tech, I mean crazy stuff like electronic window security and voices coming out of it. Apparently, they're like some sort of geniuses working at such a fancy place. But when I was doing Right Steps, I did come up with the slogan. It's kind of a pretty clever one. But anyway, if you can't, we can. Wow, that is. And then I also added, wow, that's such a broad spectrum of things they can supposedly do, huh? I said. And then I also added the next part. Yeah, and then there's like a ton of things people can't do, like installing a toilet. Of course, since we don't have a toilet, we don't need them for that reason, but still, Sky joked. So I added that part too. When we had time to edit our free writing, I, instead of just telling them this and then the secretary named Linda being mad at herself for telling them that, I did have it before when like she just remained serious and like tried to convince them that she wasn't lying. I added this part instead, like, but there's one thing that is very true about this company. We have ways of making people forget. That was kind of like my other part that I was like, well, yeah, that's a good idea. All right, and then pretty much that. I haven't started chapter 4 yet, so. Alright, and then this entire story kind of was like based on Right Steps because we spent a lot of days like learning how to like plan your writing and doing that kind of thing. So I'm just gonna start reading because this story is not this long. We were going to leave the week after school ended. Wait, let me read the title first. Vacation, staying home. We were going to leave the week after school ended. It was going to be awesome. Trailers, Badlands, Mount Rushmore, and Yellowstone National Park. There was my mom, Amy, my dad, Ryan, my brother, Carter, and me, Carmen. We had been planning it since last summer when we visited them in North Carolina. My mom and my uncle wanted to do something big before Quinn went off to college. The planning was all done. We had looked into booking spots at the Badlands, Yellowstone, and site. I was personally very happy that my brother wasn't allowed to play video games for the whole 2 weeks we were on vacation. No annoying sounds for the whole 2 weeks. Living the dream. Anyway, you can probably see by now how I was super excited. And so like all of that, like that was how to like plan that part, like learning how to plan, how to like start a story, and like how to like introduce the characters and things. So that's kind of where I got all of that from. And then we also worked on like writing like the good stuff of the story and like learning how to see how to do that. One day after school, I got into my mom's car and we went into Whole Foods to get groceries. We were out of everything from bed to toothpaste, ice cream, but that's not important right now. What is the fact that when we got there, my mom said, I forgot to tell you that since Quinn's going to college and Uncle Michael is saving up for him to go to his dream college, he trailed off. Well, they don't really think it's a very good idea for them to go on the big trip, my mom hurried on. What? Hold on. Did you just say not going? Tears stung my eyes. After all the planning, we would not be going. No, I thought. Yes, it is their decision now. Let's go in, she said all sternly. Don't forget to bring the bags. For the rest of the day, I was in a pouty mood, really crabby about our canceled trip. Mom, we can go next year, my mom said reassuringly. But I was so excited. Now we have to wait a whole another year, I wailed. I ran upstairs as fast as I could. I was a mess. I wanted to go on this trip so badly. Now it was canceled. This is so disappointing, I muttered to myself. Well, it's no time to be moping, I thought to myself. Summer's coming, even if we would be staying. Still, no school. I don't know what changed my mood so suddenly, but all of a sudden I didn't feel so bad. I would be staying home, but towards the end of the summer, I would still be going to Seattle. I thought to myself, it would have been awesome to go on a trip, but hey, summer was still very fun. So, all in all, it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Oh, this part here, we worked on writing a conclusion for a disappointing experience. Um, so this part is completely like crisis because we had to like write about how the disappointing experience wasn't actually that bad now. So all in all, it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. I wouldn't let anything ruin my summer. In the end, summer was still pretty fun with my thoughts of the big trip drifting to the back of my mind. Um, and so that was my that was like the writing prompt that we had to write about. And then I also have like the start of a reading thing, like a reading what's it called response. I didn't finish it, but so far this is what we've done. Response to fishy feelings and how to get along. We spent a lot of time on this. Like we did learning how to respond to it and like how to like add the prompt and had to like cite evidence from the text. Response to fishy feelings and how to get along. Prompt. Define sibling rivalry. Discuss how it can affect a family in both a positive and negative way, using examples from fishy feelings and how to get along with brothers and sisters. Develop your ideas by making a connection to a past experience. So this is just the start of it. It's not completely done yet. Sibling rivalry is when two or more siblings have a sort of thing where they always want to be better than the other one. It can affect a family in a positive way if the kids are pushed to work harder to achieve a goal. It can be a negative thing if it breaks out into physical fighting. And then in how to get my story that were made better by doing right steps. And wait, I forgot one more thing. Um,